this happens. All of a sudden, I genuinely hope, I was like, oh my God, I feel like a part of my heart just got ripped out. It was the weirdest feeling.
In fact, Blood Nunes only alluded to Ashton Kutcher's alleged role in the shady Unal hoax. Richard told the jury that when he finally found out that Ashley had been killed, he was freaked out knowing his fingerprints were on her door. When his ex-girlfriend and fans learned that Ashton Kutcher was supposed to be on a date with her the night before they questioned him, they were shocked. We support victims, and we have done this historically through our work, and will continue to do so in the future. Could Ashton Kutcher, the charming actor and businessman, really be hiding the truth behind a terrifying Unal lie from more than 20 years ago? Jennifer said that whoever did this to Ashley had to have known her, because their home was double-gated. Account of Ashton Kutcher's girlfriend's untimely death in 2001, and how fresh video may reveal considerably more than we previously realized was Ashton hiding. Mr. Kutcher saw what he believed to be wine spilled on the floor through the window. We believe that the evidence will reveal that it was indeed blood. Let's examine the horrifying facts of the horrible Unal lie of 22-year-old. Due to his appearances in popular television series and movies, Ashton Kutcher was becoming one of Hollywood's most endearing heartthrobs in the early 2000s. One fateful night, he was supposed to pick up his friend Ashley Ellerin for a night out. Upon reaching her apartment, he saw that while the door was shut, the lights were on. Ashton thought Ashley had just gone out with someone else, perhaps for a date or a night out with friends. As he peered through the window, he saw what he thought was red wine on the floor. Dismissing the strangeness as a mere misunderstanding, he left the area, completely unaware that he was staring at a horrific murder scene, rather than spilled wine. The next morning, Ashley's roommate made the heartbreaking discovery that she had been viciously stabbed about 50 times. It was an unimaginable and gory spectacle. Following the investigation, authorities identified Michael Gargiulo, a serial murderer who preyed on young women across California and was dubbed the Hollywood Ripper. The public, drawn to the unsettling circumstances of Ashley's murder, as well as her friends and family, were profoundly affected by the shocking nature of the crime as the pieces began to fit together.
Did this to Ashley had to have known her because their home was double gated. After finding out that Ashton Kutcher was supposed to be on a date with her the night before, they questioned.
In addition to being a tale of tragedy, the story of Ashley Ellerin and the Hollywood Ripper serves as a warning about life's vulnerabilities, especially in a city that often seems dazzling on the outside. The inquiry into Ashley's death, the actions of those involved, and the possible cover-up gain greater relevance as additional details come to light. This serves as a reminder that, despite Hollywood's glamorous exterior, there is always evil lurking beneath the surface. This lingering question has remained hidden for years, but now, more than 20 years later, shocking new information has surfaced that raises the possibility of a cover-up. In 2019, Ashton Kutcher was once again in the news, this time as a crucial witness in Michael Gargiulo's trial rather than for his acting abilities. During the trial, Kutcher testified about his experience and the emotional upheaval he faced after learning of Ashley's untimely death. He spoke about the shock and disbelief he felt upon hearing the news. The knowledge that Ashley had been violently taken from the world had a profound impact on him. In addition to highlighting his relationship with Ashley, his statement also brought to light the lasting pain that such an incident can cause friends and family. As the trial progressed, new information surfaced that provided a nuanced picture of Ashley's murder. There were indications that the investigation could have been delayed, raising concerns about the thoroughness of the case. Did the narrative hold deeper meanings than first appeared? Was there a connection that may have influenced Ashton's actions that night, or did his initial dismissal of the situation arise from ignorance? The complexity of the case continued to unfold, revealing a story filled with conflict and unanswered questions. The courtroom proceedings challenged long-held societal beliefs by presenting fresh witnesses and evidence. In Hollywood, where friendships often intertwine with the darker undercurrents of tragedy and celebrity, Ashton's involvement in the trial served as a sobering reminder of how interconnected lives can be. Ashley Ellerin's tragic demise has left a haunting legacy that acts as a constant reminder of life's fragility and the never-ending search for truth in the face of immense loss. Her front door was completely covered with fingerprints. Fans couldn't help but raise eyebrows at Kutcher's casual response to seeing what turned out to be blood. Some even went so far as to question whether Ashton knew more than he let on. Kutcher told the jury that when he finally just garnering attention due to his music, oh no, he was everywhere: fashion TV programs, fashion shows, you name it. And here is where the intriguing parts come. Discovered himself mingling with Ashton Kutcher, another famous person. Yes, it is correct. Ashton and Diddy had a close and strange friendship. We used to hang around and watch football together. One day he came over and I said, "I'm going for a run," and he said, "Oh, I'll go for a run with you." How did these two get acquainted? Although Gargiulo was ultimately found guilty, Ashton's involvement on the night of Ashley's death continued to raise eyebrows in a stunning twist. It's possible that Ashton was more deeply involved than the public initially realized. Questions like why he didn't call the police when he saw the suspicious scene and why it took him almost 2 hours to get to Ashley's house after their phone call haunted many. According to reports, Mila Kunis, Ashton Kutcher's wife and long-term partner, has been making plans for her departure. For weeks, there have been reports of a breakup between her and Ashton. According to those close to the couple, Mila is becoming uneasy about Ashton's connections to both his late girlfriend's tragic end and the now disgraced hip-hop mogul Sean "Diddy" Combs. Might Mila be working with authorities behind the scenes? If so, it is clear that she has severed ties with Ashton she could know. Something explosive that might put Ashton in serious legal jeopardy. Many people are unaware that Ashton Kutcher and Diddy have a long history together. Diddy has gone by many names over the years, starting in the 90s in NYC when he was known as Puff Daddy. There are even rumors that Mila has been speaking with federal investigators and has access to Diddy's private world, which could reveal Ashton's involvement in Diddy's criminal circle. If that is the case, Ashton's world could be on the verge of collapse. Diddy founded Bad Boy Records in 1993, which later evolved into Bad Boy Entertainment, one of the most well-known names in the music industry. He didn't just bring any old artists with him. Instead, he brought the notorious Big, also known as Christopher Wallace, whose name alone was bringing in millions of dollars annually for Bad Boy Entertainment. At one point, Puffy had been profiting from Biggie's name for longer than Biggie was alive, and people kept forgetting that he hadn't turned 25 yet. He was still 24 when he passed away. But here's the thing. Ashton and Diddy were frequently spotted together at events, parties, and other gatherings. In 2010, Ashton was a regular at Diddy's renowned Labor Day White Party, which is one of those fancy gatherings where everyone wears white and things probably get wild behind the scenes. You may recall that prank show on MTV Punk, but Combs didn't stop there. He also produced several seasons of Making the Band on MTV, where aspiring stars competed to make it big. Guys and guys, we have to be able to adopt this position. While Christina Ricci didn't mention any names, the message ended. Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis, the famous couple presently involved in a flurry of scandals, are the target of her social media post, which left little room for interpretation. They have been scrutinized for their steadfast support of Masterson for background. Among the year's top 100 prominent individuals, Ashton Kutcher is a sounding board for me. Like me, he's a new media mogul. Diddy raved about him? Mogul, but we think, yeah, Yang, I'm in your face and he's all super cute. Fast forward to 2019, and Ashton is eating spicy wings while being grilled by Sean Evans. Of course, the subject of Diddy's infamous parties came up, and let's just say that Ashton had a lot of stories he couldn't share because Diddy was being charged with. People are now questioning whether Ashton Kutcher knows more than he's letting on about everything from fucking to racketeering. Whatever the case, Ashton Kutcher is not innocent. Last year, Ashton and Mila were embroiled in controversy, and it was all because of some resurfaced videos, such as this one of the girls who were all waiting to turn 18. It seems that the Cutler faced backlash because they had previously supported Danny Masterson, who has already been subject to legal action because of allegations of sexual assault. A jury found Danny Masterson guilty on 2 counts back in May after the actor's vocal support for the accused Christina Rhode Island boldly called them out, causing a cascade of revelations about their own past in a stark white font against a dramatic black background. Danny Masterson was recently sentenced to 30 years to life in prison and ordered to register as a sex offender. Unfortunately, I've known a lot of awesome guys who were lovely to me but have been proven to be abusers privately, Christina said. had first-hand experience with this believed victims, it's difficult to come forward and to get a conviction. She went on to say in a separate slide that sometimes people we love and admire do terrible things. They may not do these things to us, but we only know who they are to us. Discrediting the abused is a crime. People we know as awesome guys can be patriots and abusers. It's difficult to accept, but we must if we talk about supporting victims, women and children. In a letter to the court, Ashton Kutcher and Muniz urged Los Angeles Superior Court Judge Charlene Omo to grant Masterson leniency as character references. Kutcher described his co-star as a role model with exceptional character in letters dated July and August of last year, following his conviction in May of the same year for say. In the letter, which the Hollywood Reporter was able to obtain, Kutcher explained that Masterson was the reason he didn't turn to drugs. He also made it clear that they wouldn't be good people to be friends with. She praised Masterson's abstinence from narcotics and said he had been a wonderful elder brother figure to her, which motivated her to avoid drugs as well. The irony of Kutcher's defense while running a charity that fights child slavery was pointed out by fans. Kutcher co-founded Thorn with his ex-wife Demi Moore, and the organization works with law enforcement and tech companies knows to combat the illegal human trafficking of children in the digital age. One fan wrote, "I hope no one forgot." It's intriguing that Ashton Kutcher, a co-founder of Thorn, supported a guy guilty of such a crime while claiming to support Say. Danny's determination to push a drug-free lifestyle has served as a beacon of light for me along the way. The entertainment industry has assisted me in putting my health first and concentrating on making moral decisions. The Friends with Benefits star also said a combined video apology that was posted on the internet on a seductive Saturday afternoon was the Mayer duo's response to the brewing storm. They revealed in their confession that the Masterson family had asked them to provide a letter of recommendation for their 25-year acquaintance. They stated that a few months prior, Danny's family contacted them and requested that we provide character letters advocating for the individual we had known for 25 years, so that the judge could fully take that into account. Kutcher continued by saying that they were meant for the court to read and were not meant to cast doubt on the victims' accounts or traumatize them in any way. We would never want to do that, and I apologize if that has happened. The lawyered apology journalist Yashar Ali wrote on the website quickly caused critics to vent their frustration. It's important to remember that the letters weren't just character letters you would write for a friend. They contained a lot of Scientology phrases that were meant to undermine the victims who were drugged by Danny. Another person described the apology as more like sorry public, saying, "We didn't know that our letter would be read publicly, but we still want to support our case." However, after all of the criticism, Christina reappeared on Instagram stories to explain that she wasn't directly referring to the Kutch, even if she acknowledged that recent events had caused her to reflect more on the matter. She started the post by saying, "What I wrote wasn't meant to seem so pointed." 6 million fans. Christina's choice of words in calling the act of people discrediting victims in this case, Ashton and Mila, a crime, has raised some eyebrows. And some fans think there may be more to this. It's just something I've been thinking about generally as various people's wrongdoings have come to light over the past couple of years. And I too have found it difficult to reconcile the person or people I knew with the things they did. She finished. This is where things get interesting though, because fans have apparently heard that Ashton isn't exactly as innocent as he would like us to believe. One of Danny Masterson's accusers is taking Ashton Kutcher to the court. One fan even commented on this, saying she's right about this, that these two celebrities should also be considered criminals for siding with Masterson, and that their apology isn't even enough. Chrissy Bixler, who has a complicated history with Danny Masterson, recently took to Instagram to throw some serious shade at Ashton Kutcher. Her post came after Woodshed resurfaced some old footage supporting Ashton's friend in court. In her message, Chrissy warned, "Dear Ashton, the secrets your role model holds for you could kill you. Did you forget I was there? You called Danny on speakerphone on February 21st, 2001. That fateful date marks the night Ashton's ex-girlfriend, Ashley Ellerin, tragically lost her life in her Hollywood Hills apartment. Earlier that evening, Ashton repeatedly called Ashley, eventually heading over. In her posts, Chrissy didn't hold back. She shared a slew of old clips showcasing Ashton and his wife, Mila Kunis, together, as well as one particularly unsettling video featuring Mila and Danny. She addressed Mila directly, writing, I pray you begin to process what you experienced as a child on that set. Your old interviews are very telling. One clip featured a young Hilary Duff on Kutcher's show, Punked, where Ashton remarked, one of the girls that we're all waiting for to turn in another clip, over to her place. He testified that, peering through the window, he mistook what was actually blood for red wine, assuming she wasn't home. After leaving Ashley's apartment, he unknowingly crossed paths with Michael Gargiulo, the man later dubbed the Hollywood Ripper, who was convicted for Ashley's murder. These revelations have ignited a viral backlash, with fans calling for Ashton's cancellation. One fan even remarked, "It was awful back then," while another stated, "It's disgusting today." Adding to the intrigue is Mila Kunis' sudden and suspicious silence regarding the entire Diddy situation. Rumors of a breakup have been swirling for weeks, with insiders suggesting that Mila is increasingly uneasy about Ashton's ties to Diddy, especially since the FBI is reportedly investigating Diddy's associates. Is Mila secretly collaborating with authorities? If so, it would explain her distancing from Ashton. She might possess explosive information that could put him in serious jeopardy. Since she has been with him for years and would have had access to his private life, Ashton is in serious legal jeopardy. There are even rumors that Mila has been talking to federal investigators and sharing important information that could reveal Ashton's involvement in Diddy's criminal circle. If that turns out to be the case, Ashton's world could possibly collapse. In any case, Diddy has been in the news for weeks, arrested, imprisoned, and now refusing to eat because he may have been poisoned. According to rumors, Diddy isn't eating while incarcerated, which may be because he believes someone is attempting to contaminate his food. There is a lot of conjecture that Sean Diddy Combs is refusing to eat in prison out of concern that he would be arrested and made to seem like a self-harm victim. Diddy is very paranoid, according to those familiar with the matter, particularly because his testimony may reveal information on some of the most influential figures in the business. Former prisoner Larry Levine has stoked the rumors that Diddy could have completely quit eating out of fear that someone might contaminate his meals. Levine suggests that Diddy may be asked to keep quiet until he can testify, since he has important information on high-stakes, deep-pocketed individuals. Kevin Hart Snoop DJ contact DJ for some Kevin Hart Mark W. Buber. While some may dismiss Diddy's worry as psychosis, others see it as the start of a much bigger story, and the timing is what makes them suspect that Diddy's testimony is planned soon, and rumors are circulating that his testimony could rock the entertainment industry's foundations. His fans worry that he won't live long enough to share his story, a fear that has grown since other prominent people who were scheduled to testify before Diddy died suspiciously. Meanwhile, on Monday, lawyers said they have important new evidence to support their request that Diddy be released from federal prison while he awaits trial. Combs' attorneys are requesting that the appeals court postpone one appeal so he can present a new. According to information brought to the attention of the federal judge presiding over the case, Judge Aaron Subban's attorneys have opposed filing an appeal before Combs requested the delay. The federal appeals court scheduled oral arguments regarding his detention for November 4th, and over the weekend, his lawyers requested that Subban issue an order prohibiting potential witnesses and their attorneys from discussing the accusations against Combs. This court should use its discretion in issuing an order requiring all potential witnesses and their attorneys to refrain from discussing the allegations against Combs. Counsel to abstain from saying anything outside of court that may seriously affect Mr. Combs' trial or otherwise jeopardize the proper administration of justice. Combs' attorneys wrote prosecutors have stated that their criminal investigation is still ongoing and that more charges or defendants may be added in a potential superseding indictment. That concludes this video, everyone. Since November 2023, at least 25 civil lawsuits have been filed against Combs with allegations of misconduct or SA. The first lawsuit, filed by his ex-girlfriend Cassie Ventura, was settled the following day, but the other cases are still pending.